So I had a question. It's
Mm.
kind of a two-parter. So the first one is, do you guys, excuse me, do you guys believe in fate? Um, and and the second question to that is, do you guys, and for the both of you, do you guys have a general idea of who you're trying to become, or are you just allowing life to kind of take you in whatever direction that is set out for you?
If you don't mind, I'll go first. I would say that
Go for it.
for me, I believe there's a reason why things happen, um, uh, and I believe that God or Alamia uh, has a plan, or I would say knows how things are going to go, and has a part for me that which he believes that I will follow through on. So in that regard, I am willing to see how things go and see how the plan unfolds for me and whether that plan reverberates outwards.
Dope.
So,
Darcy?
for myself, loosely the same answer as Neo, but I say loosely. So I don't believe in that everything is fated and there's a specific answer and you have no choice. I don't like that concept, and part of that has to do with my own personal issues with growing up with people who I'm trying to walk a safe line here, but look at certain things. Like I grew up with certain people in a certain faith where they look at everything as like everything's gonna be handed to them, and I just have an issue with it. I don't believe in fate, but I do believe that the universe gives you what you put out, and that things will always work themselves out given what you put into the universe for that to come back to you, right? Like I don't believe in fate, but I have faith that doing like I've had consistency where I've had many situations in my life where I didn't have to say the money to pay for school when I was going through college. And I went to college for like 7 years, and I had like I'm not kidding you, like 48 hours to make up like $2,000 to pay for school, or I would have got kicked out of school. And I got the money together when there was no money in sight, kind of a deal. And I had faith that it was going to work out, right? But I don't believe that like there's an end state in which is like already determined for me. And if there is, I don't care, because I want to have power in my own destiny, right? In my own choices. I forget what the second half of the question was.
I think you answered it. I think it was
Yeah,
just a
I was
matter
going to
of
say, I
like,
think you answered it.
Cool. I feel like it was 2 parts, and I just couldn't remember what the other one was.
How about you,
yeah.
T?
I'm kind of on the same boat as Darcy. I think back to Men in Black 3, oddly enough. There's a scene in the movie where they're talking about multiple universes or multiple scenarios in which like your choices in life dictate the overall outcome of what's going to happen to you. And there's multiple timelines, and like all of them are technically correct, and it's a matter of choice. Right. And there was a guy that I was watching, and he said a statement where it was something to the effect of life is it was something of like what was it again? Sorry. Life is the B, or life is the C between B and D. And the B represents your birth, and then D represents the death, and the C represents your choice. So it's a matter of the decisions that you make. And this is kind of why I'm a firm believer in like the law of attraction, because basically what it suggests is that like attracts like. And when you are in a state of love, like where you're vibrating at love, which is like the highest frequency that there is, one of the analogies is that God is love. God made us in his own image. And when we vibrate at the same level as God, not to suggest that we are God, but we're using that same kind of energy, that same kind of frequency to basically attract things into our life. And this is what this is part of the governing factor that dictates our life in general. And I think that there are different parallels that we can all follow in our life, right? So you can go down one path or another path, and whether you're vibrating at love or you're vibrating out of fear and hate and anger, it'll lead you in whichever direction you're most congruent with, right? And so I think it's all a matter of learning to tap into that love frequency, whether you're doing it through your religious practice or your spiritual beliefs. And this is why, we have the 10 Commandments or like other spiritual practices within different religions that are trying to basically get everybody to follow that loving path. And some people stray away and they go down the fear path. And I think that's kind of like where I fall into in terms of like what I believe, right? I believe that we all need to be vibrating at a certain frequency in order to ultimately cultivate the life that we want, that's going to lead us to a higher state of being, if that makes sense. So
it does.
Yeah. So that's just kind of what I follow, what I believe.
Oh, shit.
This guy
got deep.
He's got deep.
Yeah.
Well, deep.
All right, I think that.
So that's it, eh? We're wrapping that up.
We right at time.
Oh shit! Okay. All right. Well, this has been another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. We got a little bit deep today. Hopefully, it wasn't too serious for y'all. But yeah, I'm your boy Tactix.
Yo, it's just Darcy here.
This is Big Geek Umar. Live long and prosper, y'all. Like and subscribe, and also comment.